This is the third in my series, The Cry God Hears. When a man's heart one day tells him, "You fool, you're not good enough to get into God's kingdom." Why? Well, you're stained full of sin, earned from years of refusing God's gift of love, eternal life through the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus, God's Lamb. When a sinner reaches this junction in their life, some, not all, a few, will break down and in a cry of desperation call to God Himself for help as a last resort. This third story of such a person can be called a true deathbed conversion and is described by God in His book of Luke, chapter 23, verse 32. This poor dying man's cry is heard by Jesus while hanging on a cross at Calvary. Let's see if it gets him to glory land and life everlasting, okay? We will know within 2 minutes if you would ever read it. The book says, "And there are also 2 other malefactors led with him, Jesus, to be put to death." Imagine this horrible scene and hate and murder. Evil man putting his own Creator on trial. He finds him guilty of what charge, who knows, and gleefully cheers as he puts him to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said Jesus, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And they parted his raiment and cast lots, and the people stood beholding. And the rulers also with them derided him, saying, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he be Christ, the chosen of God." And the soldiers also mocked him, coming to him and offering him vinegar, and saying, "If thou be the King of the Jews, save thyself." And a superscription also was written over him, in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew, "This is the King of the Jews." And one of the malefactors which were hanged railed on him, saying, "If thou be Christ, save thyself and us." But the other, answering, rebuked him, saying, "Dost not thou fear God, seeing thou in the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man hath done nothing amiss." And he said unto Jesus, "Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom." And Jesus said unto him, "Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise." Today. Did you get the cry? The cry of the desperate dying man? "Lord, remember me when thou comest into thy kingdom." Did the Lord hear this cry? He sure did. He sure did, and here is His command. "Today shalt thou be with me in paradise." Wow, what a moment in a sinner's life. Set free for making a cry to the only one who could give him what he needs. Freedom, Jesus Christ, and he got it, just as I did when I cried out on that day, on that wonderful day. Make the cry. See you next time.